Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. This time talking about the lure of the Nomad. This is one of the increasingly large number of Big Finish stories that if you talk too much about, you'll give too much away and you'll spoil everyone else's enjoyment. And that's usually a sign that it's brilliant, and it kind of is. I can't possibly say where the narrative goes and in what direction, so tell you what, here's the synopsis, and we'll take it from there, shall we? For thousands of years, it has drifted through space, unimpeded, forgotten, seemingly lifeless. Now finally, it has been discovered, responding to a distress call from the mysterious Hulk. The Doctor and his companion, space pilot Mathew Sharpe, walk into a desperate situation. The multi-tentacled, semibionic Makara are tasked with renovating the abandoned craft, but now they've begun murdering their employers. The Doctor soon realizes that the Makara have been programmed to kill, but by whom, and for what reason? Finding out the truth will mean uncovering a secret that threatens the entire universe. Written by Matthew J. Elliott, directed by John Ainsworth. Okay, so that is all you are allowed to know. The introduction of a brand new companion halfway through a story is an ideal Sixth Doctor thing. I mean, let's face it, that even happened on TV. So there is indeed, well, let's use the word precedent, shall we? We're all big fans of the Sixth Doctor. That goes without saying. Let's face it, you're listening to this review, you're therefore a fan of the Big Finish, and if you're a fan of the Big Finish, you're a fan of the Colin Baker. Yeah? Goes without saying? I think so. Yes, we all went through our childhoods, we all had our issues with the Sixth Doctor, but such things are long, long, long gone. Now we just see old Colin, old Sixie on the cover, and just our hearts soar. We know we're in for a fantastic ride, and you know, those handful of stories that some people out there didn't like, and I'm not always one of them, forget it. The Sixth Doctor simply rocks. And here he's at his most brilliant. Where this fits in the canon of Sixth Doctorness, I just don't know. I'm sure there's a gap where all of the Sixth Doctor alone stories fit. Possibly after Perry, but before Mel. Except, of course, there's a reference to carrot juice in this, which means it would be post-Mel. Well, post-thingy of the... Oh, it's so complicated. After he's dropped her off, so in between the gap of the two No. You know what? I don't care. Really don't care. Doesn't matter to me at all where it fits. I'm not that pedantic. I am not that pedantic. Trust me. Really, seriously. Alright, maybe it's a bit. So, we've got a giant space Hulk, expertly realised by the sound design. You've got a bunch of aliens who, if they were to appear on TV, would have been, and I hate to use the word disappointing, but they would have been. You've got octopi or octopodes, depending on your Latin or Greek origin of the word, and they are in biomechanical armour. They're the workforce. But you've also got a character called Willoway, who just rocks. She's a gaseous life form, living inside a giant sort of see-through suit thing. Now all this person wants to do is experience things, and of course, if she/he was to leave her suit, then, well, she'd dissipate into the atmosphere. But she's just great. You've got a genuinely alien character, a bunch of characters in this. But you know what? when I was listening to this, the one thing that distracted me the most and impressed me was Mathew Holness. Right. Cards on the table. I'm a gigantic Garth Marenghi fan. I mean, if you've not seen Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which was a TV series in the early 80s on Channel 4, well, try and track down the special commemorative DVD that was released that had bits of that. And of course, well, in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, you've got Garth Marenghi appearing. That's the famous author. Of course, none of this is real. It's all made up. It's all a Mickey take documentary and program made in the 90s about early 80s sci-fi. It's just one of the greatest TV programs of all time. And Mathew Holness plays Garth Marenghi, who is a horror author. Now, I've known more than my fair share of horror authors in my time. And yeah, he is kind of loosely based on the bloke who wrote Slugs, Sean Hudson, but he's also Ramsey. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's lots and lots and lots of people all rolled into one. It's the bad news. Oh, you know what? Just go away and watch it. And in that, he's brilliant. He's also pretty damn good as the recurring and various different guests appearing in Man to Man with Dean Lerner, another series that I've got on DVD that nobody else in the whole world seems to have watched. Huge fan, great voice, great actor, great performance. You can't top this bloke. The fact that he's not done more is just beyond me. But I'm so glad that Big Finish have nailed him, got him in for this, and it just works. As a dodgy, overzealous businessman, he's just brilliant. He's like Richard Branson, but with a very stranger ego. Yes, he's got daddy issues, which would be a brilliant thing because you could get him back to play his own father in another story. Or perhaps I've missed that, and that's what's already happened in a Big Finish story already. So perhaps there'd be a prequel, perhaps I've already missed it, perhaps I've forgotten. Oh no, the memory's cheating on me already. I'm rambling. That's a great performance. To be honest, there isn't a bad performance in the whole thing. So you've got a basic setup. You've got your base under siege. You've got your lost spaceship, which of course then lends itself to being the studio-bound story for that season. Yes, with a few cutaways. You've got a pre-title sequence section, which sets things up nicely and, of course, makes you go, right, there's something happening here. We've got a bit of excitement. We've discussed this on the UFO cast, where you've got a bit of excitement at the beginning to snag your audience, open with a bang, and then you've got not a dull, a lull in the narrative. It's not the same thing. A lull in the narrative organic arc of the storytelling where we introduce Mathew. Now, Mathew is the Sixth Doctor's brand new companion. He's been travelling with him for a few adventures. Oh yeah, let's mention the Quarks as a throwaway line. Always a winner. And then, of course, he's being returned home. He seems like a perfectly good companion. Almost textbook. And the performances, again, as I've said, brilliant. I can't tell you how good this story is. It's dark, it's foreboding, it's got a load of atmosphere. What it's also got is a good payoff. An emotional nugget, if you will. Is it destined to be a classic? I just don't know. But what I can tell you is that I enjoyed the hell out of it. So with that, and without any spoilers whatsoever, here's the trailer, and you can make up your own mind. A worthy addition to the main range by far. So until next time, be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions.
The instructions now entered into our exoskeleton CPU state that intruders must be eliminated.
Oh, wait. Get off! Get the hell off me!
Please be aware that we do not wish to kill you.
That's fine by me!
We simply have no choice in the matter.
No!
Doctor Who, The Lure of the Nomad.
I think I know that tune. The March of the Myriad? Why here? And in this time period?
Mr. Drazen, everybody who's watching this is bound to be wondering, What's the story behind your acquisition of this vessel?
The story is, I saw it, I wanted it, and now it's mine.
Forgive me, I don't think we've been properly introduced. I am known as the Doctor.
And I am Willowy. When you say the Doctor, do you mean the Doctor? The time-travelling, shape-shifting Doctor?
The Doctor? Never heard of him.
Once you meet him, you won't ever forget him. He makes quite an impression.
And what are you to him?
He likes to call me his travelling companion. I'm Mathew, 1T, Sharpe, with an E.
So, just to clarify, none of you want to kill us?
We do not, but our exoskeletons have been programmed to kill you. Please believe that we wish no part of this. The taking of any life is against the Makara code. We simply have no choice.
Big Finish. We love stories.
2018 brings with it 3 brilliant conventions, all held at the Derby Quad. ShadowCon 2, the UFO convention, will be on June the 30th, 2018. Hooverville, the best little Doctor Who convention in the world, is on Saturday the 1st of September, while Big Finish Day is on the 3rd of November 2018. All tickets are available from the Derby Quad website. That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.